happy. I was like, get my shit back, nigga. Shit, I
I think
lost.
we live now. Going live on YouTube. What's the Line podcast, week 17. Let me tweet out this link.
Oh. Um. All right. I think I have a best bet, but it's not on the not one of the games that matters. I do have a lean though. Um,
They saying, Rome, you got a bun?
yeah, bro, bad hair day.
Hawaii boys, 808, heartbreaks. The
Hi.
games that matter. The games that matter. This is all right. We're live though on YouTube. What's the Line podcast, week 17. Running three-man weave today. Keith's about to pop in soon, but we're gonna get it in for time's sake. Starting early. How you doing today, Rome? How you doing? You just doing well in college basketball right now. How you doing?
I'm ready to go. Ready for this transition for sure. Ready for this transition to college basketball. Kids.
The
That's what we asked for,
motherfucking
though.
look like Keith is pulling up. Papa Keith.
Look at us. Robert Morris. I remember maybe this might have been pre-COVID, so let's go 3 years ago. Had Robert Morris versus Youngstown State. Handicapped the game all day. Robert Morris plus 2.5. Thought it was the right side. I didn't even look at the other side. Robert Morris got their ass blown out. I will never forget that game. And I was like, do they suck or do I suck? Because I thought, when you spend so much time handicapping a game, you're just like, I got to be right. I mean, I spent 8 hours on this game. When I
No
tell you the
doubt.
best player didn't even play, I'm on Twitter trying to scroll to see if he's going to play. That's when you know you probably should not bet that game or you on the wrong side. When you are on Twitter searches trying to figure out if a forward for Robert Morris is going to play, you need to either leave that game alone or figure out something else to bet.
And Rome is talking through his college basketball blues or just sports gambling blues over the years. He's an old guy sports gambler now, like me.
2019. But you know me, I'm never scared to come back to a team I've lost money on. So here we are. Robert Morris plus 2.5 at home. 3 years later, same line.
You dropped that in the Discord, right?
I believe, did I? I don't think I did. No, I dropped a Charleston Southern loser in the Discord. Dropped that right before I said I was about to be on a run, too. I should have just said I'm going to be on a run.
People are definitely intrigued with the bun, Rome. Rome's bun this week. 808 boys. All right. I'm tweeting this out. Let's get it started. Three-man week 17. And we're back. Andy Up Consultant presents What's the Line podcast, week 17. Sheesh. The show don't stop, gentlemen. We're here. My guy, three-man weave. My guy, Rome. How you feeling today, Rome?
Ready to go. Week 17. Usually this is, in previous years, this has been the last week. So glad to have a bonus week after this week. A lot of people don't really care for week 17 games or opportunities in which teams aren't playing for anything. But, we love to scrap and handicap some of these late season games, specifically these last 2 weeks. Just a quick story going back maybe 2-3 years ago. I remember the Cincinnati Bengals were laying a flat 7 week 17 in Houston. And I was just like, of course, the Bengals are good. The Texans suck. Texans won outright. So we'll get into some of those type of lines here this week that I see that remind me of that. Teams that have absolutely nothing to play for that, it might be the right side. I know a lot of people think teams give up here towards the end of the year, but hey, I mean, these guys are grown men. They're playing for careers too. All right, I kept that pretty long. Let's go. Week 17.
All right, where's Rome? There's Rome right there in his old school gambling bag, all the scars and tissues over the year. Uh, forget to mention, I'm your host, Meticulous Mark P. You know how we do this, man. Show don't stop. I think 67 is the number it's going to be Twitter Spaces and podcasts at the end of the
Okay.
season. So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about the content, building the portfolio. Papa Keys back in the building. How you feeling today, Keys?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Week 17. I swear this is my intro before Rome's. But this week is short and sweet for me. Like we said, week 17. These are the teams I've been seeing all year. And that's how I'm gonna analyze it. Like I'm gonna expect the teams that I've been seeing all year. Because there's only two more chances to see these teams. Next year will be a whole new team. So might as well use this information while I can.
Yes, let's do it. And the pod notes get shorter for me very soon. I love it. All right, let's get into the games that matter. We want to start off that way. We'll get into the best bets a little later. Rome, you've been killing it lately. 7-2, I believe, last 9 best bets. But let's get into these games that matter. I'm going to actually start because there are some boring games that matter. But let's start with Minnesota, Green Bay. Revenge spot from week 1. Minnesota won, kind of blew Green Bay out. Green Bay is laying 3 at home. I'm seeing a total of 48 now, 3.5 for Green Bay now, looking at it. 3 in some spots, laying 3.5, mostly total of 47.5, 48. Rome, how do you feel about this game, Green Bay laying at home?
I said in the beginning of the year, we go back 17 weeks, 4 months ago, I said the Vikings would win the North. Here we are, week 17, for an opportunity for them to win the North. I think they get it done. Question is, do they cover what seems to be, the second, I would say the second most funniest line of the week. All right. So Green Bay, obviously hot, getting an outright win last week, catching 3.5 down there in Miami. They handled business. They've won 3 games in a row. Vikings kind of coming back down to earth, kind of playing like the Vikings we expected them to be. But still winning football games, just not covering. Last week, they don't cover the 4.5 at home. Week prior, they obviously don't cover the 3.5 at home. So now they're in a position in which they're catching points. This team has not covered a game in the past 3 weeks. I'm just not really sure where I feel in terms of playing the Vikings here, catching those points. In terms of the cash splits right now, I would say, the public is all over. What's our guy's name up there? Aaron Rodgers. So it's kind of one of those things. You either play with the cash and the public and what your eyes and your heart seem to tell you, which is Aaron Rodgers is going to show up here. You and the 76% of the other bettors that are betting the Packers right now in the market. Or, you take your chances with a Vikings team that hasn't been able to cover in the past 3 weeks. Like I said, I'm not rushing to the counter to do that. It just comes down to what do you want to do? Do you want to play the cash or do you want to play what your heart and your eyes say? So your heart and your eyes are probably going to tell you Packers. Cash is going to tell you Vikings. I've removed my heart from this years ago. I would have to lean Vikings 3.5. I don't think this line closes 3. I think 3.5. I think closes closer to 3. 2.5 sharp money coming in late on the Vikings. I just think, this is one of those games where teams are starting to click at the right time. And is it an instance in which Green Bay is starting to play well at the right time and Minnesota is not? Or is this just an instance in which Green Bay is catching not great competition? I mean, Miami hasn't been Miami, it seems, since week 1. So Green Bay obviously getting away with the win there last week. And then prior to that, they beat the Rams and the Bears. So, do you believe what you're seeing with Green Bay beating these inferior opponents? Or do you want to play the team that's been more consistent over the year, that being the Vikings? I'll still lean Vikings here at the 3. But this is nothing, like I said, I'm rushing to bet.
Yeah, me, I don't really have too much for this game. It's pretty much a stay away from me, but did want to give out some notes. Vikings 15, 26, and 2 against the spread after a win since acquiring Kirk Cousins. The Packers in this spot under Matt LaFleur, 14 and 8 against the spread, division games. But yeah, I lean Vikings, but I also lean towards the over as the Vikings passing game is ranked 32nd in defense. But Keith, what do you think about this game? Packers laying 3 and the hook.
I'm glad you asked. I think it might be already to Rose's point. It might already be down to 3 some places. At least that's where I saw it not too long ago. But for me, it's the best bet on the Packers here. It's not even like honestly a hard decision the way Rome kind of laid it out. I didn't look at the cash splits and like all that. And honestly, I rarely take that into consideration when I'm looking at sides and stuff. But I'm happy to see that the people are on my side. I love when I'm riding with the people. It's my motto: power to the people. And the people, they're all 50-50. That's why they make the lines. And they be right sometimes. But without that being said, another angle to this that we haven't touched on is that we could be at kickoff, and we already talked about, laid out all the incentives for with the Packers. The Packers are hot right now. Suddenly they have a chance to make it to the playoffs. If they win this game, I think it might be in there. Like their destiny might actually be in their hands. So they're going to come in motivated. We're probably going to talk on some of these games later about like how this home field advantage really matter, especially when you get some of these key matchups. Where one place is always going to matter, especially when it's global warming type cold outside. Is in Green Bay, Lambeau Field. So you're going to have that advantage. And another element to this that I'm thinking about is that the Vikings could be essentially locked into the 2 by the time we get the kickoff. We could have a team really motivated and a team that's like honestly kind of let down because if they just right before you go out to play this game that you're kind of trying to have yourself up for, it's A-Rod and all that. You don't really have much chances of advancing if the Eagles beat the Saints early in the game. And then the last element I'm going to touch on is I've been trying to fade the Vikings all year. I mean, like hit or miss in terms of like them coming. Obviously, they're not. It's coming to fruition. They're not covering. They're still winning, which is like whatever. But they're not covering lately. And it's Kirk Cousins, and it's not at 1:00. So if we want to go with the superstitious, our numbers that we like to say, like it's not 1:00. So I'm not scared. I'm not scared at all. The Packers have a pretty solid pass defense, and like when the Vikings are rolling, that's when the element of their game, that they like to get going. So, the Vikings are terrible against the pass. This is like a lot of things that, I'm not with the Packers. Best bet. Let's go.
Yeah.
A-Rod, clutch. You on the line. Let's go, A-Rod. You need this win.
I don't want to fade your best bet here. Like I said, just a lean for me on the Vikings. But as you mentioned that the Vikings could be locked in at 2 seed by the time this game kicks off. That does add a layer of, I guess, opportunity in terms of motivational edge for the Packers. Obviously, the Vikings have already won the division, so nothing really to play for the Vikings here other than pride. Obviously, being out there in Lambeau, it'll be cold, so we'll see what happens. But like I said, I'm not rushing to bet the Vikings, and I'm also not rushing to buck your trend on that best bet. But 76% of cash as of right now is on the Packers.
All right, the games that matter. Keith's best bet on the Packers in Green Bay. Go Pack, go. All right, another game that matters. Steelers, total of 35. Oh, my gosh. At the Baltimore Ravens. Ravens laying 2 to 2.5 at some spots. Open Ravens laying 4.5 was a look ahead. We know all NFC West and AFC North teams against the spread as road dogs under their current regime are profitable, 56% or greater. Steelers in that spot here, 35, 25, and 2 against the spread as a road dog under Mike Tomlin. We all know he doesn't want to be under 500. That's another factor. And, while I'm here, best bet for me, the Steelers, definitely plus this 2.5. I think Steelers win outright here. TJ Watt, whenever he's on the field, the defense just seems to make a play or two, get that interception. I gave out a stat early in the season that was pretty crazy. TJ Watt and opponents throwing interceptions when he plays. But it's the Steelers for me here. Ravens could barely move the ball. Just about 100 yards passing last game. I think the Steelers played better run D here. And last game, Pickett didn't play. He got hurt in that game. It was the Trubisky show. So I'm going to take the Steelers plus 2.5. Best bet for me. Rome, what do you think?
Lean Ravens. Nothing much for this game. Too much cash in the Steelers for me to play them. I still don't think that Steelers offense is any good. Cameron Hayward single-handedly won that game last weekend against the Raiders. So Some all things have to come to an end at some point. Mike Tomlin's all winning seasons in his entire career. I think that comes to an end this week. Like I said, just too much cash on the Steelers. For the Ravens to open up as favorites in itself, that kind of indicated to me that's the side I wanted to play. Just seeing how bad they've looked in recent weeks and how trending upward the Steelers have looked in recent weeks, it doesn't really make sense for me to see the Ravens laying it here. So I'll stay with Vegas here and lean Ravens. Cash splits, like I said, opened 4 down to 2.5. So Steelers money has obviously come in. Just trying to stay away from that cash. So I'll lean Ravens here.
All right, Rome is leaning the other side of me, or other side of the two best bets so far.
I'm not bucking y'all best bets. I'm leaning the other way, but I am not bucking them.
Not my best bet, but I definitely do like the Steelers here. Not like I said, not my best bet. It was in consideration. Spoiler alert, I might have this a play on this game in the teaser. But yeah, I agree with you, P. I'm with you. Very low total. It was 34, 35 points. Like, you see what's going to happen here, how teams are giving it up. I mean, I'm riding with it. Like, I talk about looking at what I've been looking at this whole year. All of the points that you already mentioned, Pete, like the Ravens do a pretty good job of stopping the run. That's like the only thing the Ravens can do with Huntley at quarterback. That's been proven. Like, I thought it was like, okay, like when I saw him like plug and play him a couple times, like last year when Lamar would get banged up in previous spots. And then you look on, you squint your eyes and it's like, hell no. The last couple of weeks, what you seen, like, I'm gonna get to the Falcons later. Like they won that game last week, but the previous week they got blown out by the Browns, I think. It's just like it's all bad right now with the Ravens. And these division games, Tomlin, Road Dogg, it's like, come on now, like come on, like I don't know. Maybe the people getting shot. Maybe the people are listening to the podcast. You are discounting the people wrong because if that's your only indicator, you're gonna go against the people when everything is telling us. Like, I mean, I feel you. I feel to stay away. at that point. But for me, everything's telling me ride with Tomlin and the boys right now. Not a believer in this Ravens offense at all.
Why are the Steelers catching points? Why did this line open 4?
Catching points. I mean, the Ravens. It's not at 4 right now. It's like, I think it's around like 2.5.
Right, but it opened. Why did this line open 4?
Well, if you believe that the Ravens have some sort of home field advantage, they're telling you that they think they're even teams.
They give them 2.
And I'm telling you that recently the Ravens have not, like, the Steelers have looked much better than the Ravens. I don't know why. Maybe like I said, the line could be 2.5 because the Ravens are at home. The Ravens have a much better, straight up record. The Ravens have played better than the Steelers this season, but over the past month, it's not even close. And these are the teams that we're gonna see this week. So for me, it's a like with the Steelers.
Yeah, can't knock that.
Yep, Ravens under head coach John Harbaugh, 47-56-2 against the spread as a home favorite. And this total is 35, gentlemen. We might have to take advantage of this. We know it's gonna be really good weather, or I believe on January 1st in the area of Maryland. And I think Kenny Pickett, he might be born. He might become a man this day, as the Ravens are 24th in opponents' passing yards per game, and that's including a game against Deshaun Watson in there, who can't throw for 200. So I think that the total might go over there, but P total, who knows? But yeah, Steelers best bet for me, plus the 2.5. Let's see the games that matter as we continue on. Dolphins at the Patriots. Patriots laying 3 here, total of 41. Give out some stats. Dolphins rather, 7-5-1 against the spread as a road dog since 2020. Patriots 10-6 against the spread as a home fave since 2020 as well. But I got a stat on Bill Belichick. He is 20-6 against the spread in the final home games of his 26 seasons coaching.
Wow.
Keith, what do you think about this game here? Patriots land 3.
I'm a ride with the Patriots here. I'm assuming that I don't even know. I've been checking the news, but I'm assuming that Tua Tagovailoa is not gonna play.
He is not. No, he's not.
Our guy Teddy Covers is gonna be out there. But I feel like early in the year it got me. I came on the broadcast and I touted the Teddy Covers number, And the offense definitely did not look the same at all. Teddy, I don't think he covered those games either that he was out there. And outside of that, even with Tua when he was there, this Dolphins offense has not looked good over the past, I don't know, maybe month or so. The team in general. I don't know why. I want Rome to get on here and tell me that all the cash is on the Patriots, just so it could be like a clean sweep. But it's a lean Patriots for me. I just feel like Bill Belichick is going to be able to, you know what I mean, craft up something to win this game. It's honestly like that. That's my analysis.
Yeah, revenge spot for the Patriots as they lost in week 1 in Miami. Ron, what do you think about this game, the games that matter? Patriots land 3.
Yeah, cash is on the Patriots, but I mean, I lean Patriots as well. We've seen this Dolphins offense without Tua. I don't think Teddy Bridgewater is able to come in this game and kind of. I mean, we know what Teddy Bridgewater does. He comes in games and he manages games. But I mean, this is a divisional game, Week 17. He's going to have to come in there and win the game, and I'm not sure he can do that. Specifically with the New England defense has been kind of stingy. The offense just can't score points. So I think that New England defense can hold its own. I think this is a good revenge spot up there in Foxborough. Obviously, like you said, Bill Belichick accustomed to winning games late in the season. To lean on the Patriots, but I will say they do have some money on them. But this money doesn't necessarily scare me. I think this is kind of Tua money, which is kind of built into the line. People knowing that Tua isn't going to play, trying to get ahead of that. So I think that's why there's so much cash right now on the Patriots. 65% of the money on the Patriots.
All right. So it looks like everybody's leaning Patriots there. But yeah, there's some nice Bill Belichick stats in his favor. As we move on, though, the games that matter.
Commanders.
Telling me this week. Pardon me? Oh, yeah. Commanders. The Browns. Brownies are at the Commanders. Brownies at the Commies. The Browns, AFC North team, catching points here. They're catching 2.5 on the road, total of 40.5. Browns under Stefanski, 9-7 against the spread as a road dog. Commanders under Ron Rivera, 9-14-2 against the spread after a loss. Keith, what do you think about this game?
I don't have too much for it, but it's a lean with the Commanders for me. This Brown offense randomly is like really bad.
Yeah.
And they had I think it's been 3 games. They had the one game where it was just like crazy with the weather. So it's like, all right, cool. But even outside of that, like the one game that they scored points, like all of them was by the defense. So, I mean, the Commanders, they've been like playing competent ball all year. Like, glad it's kept. I don't even know if it's been quietly kept, but it's the area team. So who knows? It's a lean with the Commanders here. Like this Browns team, they're definitely already I feel like all year they've already been making plans for next year. Like this year's kind of been in simulation mode for them.
Yeah, I also lean Commanders here as the spread's gone up. Look ahead was 2, it's up to 2.5 now. But they kind of play in the Commanders' favor. This is a team that can stop the run, and want to make bad quarterbacks have to go against their pass rush. So I think that'll work. And they want to run the ball, right? And the Browns and opponents rushing yards per game, giving up over 130 on the ground per game. So I lean Commanders here as well at home. Ron, what do you think?
Yeah, that's my lean as well. Guts telling me Commanders. Guts also telling me Commanders find a way not to win a game in which they need to. So, the Browns, they haven't looked great, but they have covered 3 of their last 5. So no complaining there in terms of what they're doing ATS-wise. So I would be more inclined here to lay it with the Commanders. They haven't covered a game, it seems like, in the entire month of December. How about that? Ron Rivera in November, not Ron Rivera in December. Luckily, we're getting him in January this Sunday. So hopefully he can turn around and cover that field goal at home. That would be the lean. One of my strongest leans, though, I will say, of the weekend will be that Commanders lean.
Yeah, so hopefully he returns next year so we can make money on him in November. Riverboat Ron. All right, get you that early Christmas money, that Black Friday money, all of that. All right, the games that matter. The last one I really see, gentlemen, on the board, then we can just kind of get into plays. or any lines that were really strongly leaning. Jets are laying 2 at the Seahawks, total of 42.5. Seahawks over the last 4 years, 6-3 against the spread as a home dog. Any real thoughts on this game, Rome? I'll start with you.
Yeah, I like the Jets here. The Jets have looked okay in every position except quarterback, and it's obviously been all Zach Wilson. We know that. Mike White was hurt in that game, in which he was knocked out about 3 weeks ago. So, just been trying to stay afloat and get to this point where they can still play for something, and they still have something to play for here this week. Seattle has kind of just been Seattle, just kind of hanging in there ever since they had the divisional lead and lost it to the 49ers. It seems like, they're kind of regressing to the mean and kind of playing like the team we thought they would. Still kind of playing okay, but not playing as good as he did. I think it's a great spot for the Jets to kind of solidify who they are this year and make this a winning season. Love the fact that a lot of the cash is on the Seahawks right now. So I like the Jets, and that will be a play for sure. No more leans. This is a like on the Jets for me.
All right, Keith, how do you feel about this game? The games that matter. Jets laying 2 at the Seahawks.
Yeah, good synergy. Love the synergy. Now, I also love the Jets here. This is actually my second best bet of the week. Rome touched on it, but I would just like to highlight why is my best bet.
Yeah, please.
It's because it's like, let's just now brush past this. Major news. Zach Wilson is back to the bench. It's like, thank goodness. What was that? What was that? I think the show's finally over. I don't know what he's going to do. I guess he's going to do whatever the hell, I don't know, Josh Rosen has been doing the past couple of years. That's what he's going to do now. Mike White, he's coming back, baby. I wish, I don't know, is Michael Carter back? We can get that going, shades of the end of last year. Let's go, baby. The Seahawks team trending down. I don't know, how many running backs do they have? I don't know. Last I checked, I think Walker was limited today, but I don't know. I feel like it would make sense for them to just shut him down for the rest of the season. It's like, come on, man, rookie running back. What are we doing here? Jet, like you said, Jets still playing for stuff. Give me the Jets here on the road. I'm not too worried about the 6-3 ATS because that's it's 9 games over a 4-year span. To me, that it's good if it's a confirmation bias, but I don't know. It doesn't necessarily scare me. And that's the only thing that I'm looking at in this game in terms of the numbers that would make me shy away from the Jets. So it's the best bet with me, the Jets -2. I think you said it might be 2.5 now, so it's but let's go.
Yep.
Yeah, I lean the other way, not too strongly, but Seattle just lost how many in a row now? I guess it's 3 to 4 games, fighting for their playoff lives. I do like Pete Carroll as a head coach, champion, NCAAF as well. But I just think that they could possibly do something here. Loud, crowd noise is going to be crazy. I think that they could possibly make some noise here, but I see Evan Ingram caught 7 receptions for 113 yards last week. So I'm going to get into that a little more, see if they're really giving it up, the Jets, the tight ends. But Quentin Williams is out, and he was out last week. And, they just gave it up on the ground, 83 yards for ETN, 51 for Trevor Lawrence. So I'm concerned about the Jets from that angle. But the tight end may be something to take advantage of this week. Get in our Discord, and I'll let you know if I'm taking advantage of that. But I don't really have too strongly of a feel. I just lean Seattle there in that game. All right. I don't think there's any more games that quote unquote matter too much.
Nope.
Well, Ron, what are some that you're going to try to take advantage of on the board this week, week 17?
Yeah, I'm looking to play the Cardinals this week, and it's really a situational play. This is probably going to be my best bet. And it kind of boils down to Desmond Ridder in Atlanta and what we're getting from whoever plays in Arizona. Are we expecting Colt McCoy?
Yep, he's going to play.
So if so, I'll take Colt McCoy over Desmond Ridder any day of the week. Neither of these teams have anything to play for, but Cliff Kingsbury has a job to play for and are coached for. And there's an Atlanta team that's in year 2 of the process. They didn't make the playoffs this year. Next year will be the hot seat for Mr. Arthur Smith there as the head coach of the Falcons. So they're kind of coasting. They understand that their season's over. A team that's been running the football, playing hard all year. I think they're finally starting to just, they just, it's hard to play that type of football, that brand of football for 17 weeks straight. We see it here down the stretch where they have not been able to win games. I'll take the Cardinals business trip coming across country 1 p.m. They get it done against the Falcons, catching that 3. So that's where I'm at with that one. Best bet, Cardinals +3.
Yeah, that's a double like for me as well. I think I'm, you gave it out as a best bet, so there it is. But Cardinals in this spot. I mean, Colt McCoy, we do like him as a quarterback, but Cardinals under Kingsbury, 16-6-2 against the spread as a road dog. They're also pretty profitable in non-division games, 24-17 against the spread during that span. So I just think this is a pretty good money spot for them. They covered last week and even the week before against Denver, 10-9 after 3 quarters. Then Colt McCoy gets hurt. So I think this Cardinals team is definitely the right play this week, catching 3 and the hook. So I agree with you there. Keith, anything jumping off particularly for you that you might want to take advantage of?
So we actually did touch on a lot of games that I had strong opinions on. In terms of this Cardinals Falcons, literally stay away from me. I don't even know who's going to be playing quarterback in this game, to be completely honest. It's not on my radar at all. But the only other games that I had a like on, one was kind of a fake like. It was just like Jaguars -4. Like, it's kind of.
That is one I absolutely wanted to touch on next. That is one I love that game, and it is not the Jags.
Yeah, no, I can see that. We're just like, I don't know. I feel like the Texans showed us everything. They did it last week. It's honestly a must lose for the Texans. They mess around and try to win this game. I know they always beat the Jags, but they could potentially lose this #1 pick, and I think that's not something they want to do. They lose this game. The Bears lose to the Lions early in the day. And this Texas team mess around, come out and try to beat the Jags. They're not going to have the #1 pick anymore. And I don't think that's something they necessarily want to do.
We've seen it. The Jets played.
I don't know about it. If anything, the Texans are good at getting that #1 pick. Like, that's their whole brand. But I mean, I feel you in the other way. And the only other one I had a strong like on it, and it wasn't even no super sharp analysis. It's like, I love the 49ers this week. Usually we like to play a team, when they go through these tumultuous changes, but hell no. These are the Raiders I actually know. Like, the saddest part is the Derek Carr era has been the best of times of my whole life. It's just like, since I was like literally in grade school, this has been the best of times.
No love for Rich Gannon?
That was third grade school is what I'm saying. Like, it was in third grade. So yeah, I know what's gonna happen for these next couple of years. I'm prepared for it mentally, emotionally, physically.
No Bay Area rivalry here. Bro. No old Bay Area rivalry here. No,
we have nothing more to give. The coach just threw the franchise quarterback under the bus. Told him, don't even put the jersey on. I don't think there's a morale boost for us in this game. I think most of the players are just like, you know what I mean? Well, we already know most of them were just there for the check anyway. The only people that were probably emotionally into it was probably Team Derek Carr.
Josh Jacobs.
You see what's going on, man. Like, it's like, man, can't call it. I love the 49ers this week. I don't know. I don't know if there's a number I like.
Yeah, that might be a loud one for me. But Rome, I say you did say you want to touch on that Jaguars laying 4 at the Texans. Before you do, let me just say the stats. Teams that are laying 4 to 6 points on the road this season, 4-14-1 against the spread to date. But yeah, tell me how you feel. Why you leaning Texans here?
It's just Texans. The line sucks. It's a flat 4. Jags have looked impressive for the last month. Sharps have loved the Jags all year. Even when they were losing early on in the season, the Sharps loved the Jags. They finally get their money with them over the past month. But this is where it comes to an end. The Sharps like the Jags when they were dogs and they were underrated. Not here where they're playing 4 on the road in division in a game in which they absolutely need. I don't trust this team. I love Doug Peterson, what he's been able to do down there in Northwest Florida, but I just can't play it with the Jags. Not at this flat 4, not with the history of what we've known with this line and what we've seen this year. And here I go. I'll be square. I mean, I've lost a bet week 17. I mentioned at the top of the pod to the Texans catching that weird number at home in a game in which they didn't need. Here they are again. It wouldn't surprise me if they won this game outright in true Jets fashion as they weigh The Jets did 2 years ago, ended up with the second pick as opposed to the first pick. Coincidentally, the first pick that they missed up on, Trevor Lawrence, is playing in this football game for the Jags. But I'll take the Texans plus the 4. Probably be 3.5 when most people hear it. I'll take that as well.
Yep, and the Texans won outright at the at Jacksonville this season, 13-6. October 9th was the date. But yeah, Texans are also 7-3 against the spread division games since the start of last year. So that's pretty much all Davis Mills, a little Tyrod Taylor. But yeah, I think it's a good spot for the Texans. And this is not a game that means much for the Jaguars. We see Tennessee is like pretty much benching all their guys this week because next week is the game that matters. Whoever wins that is going to win the AFC South, no matter what happens this week. So this is a spot where the Jaguars don't have anything to play for, but are still going to, send their guys out there. The 4 is just the Texans are the side. But how about this? Since I was on the wrong side with the Texans against Miami, Texans, look at that. I'm just the 1 week. I was just 1 week, right? Miami's gone awful since then. Texans have been covering like fucking who's
like bed sheets.
There we go. Cover like bed sheets. I don't really like that though. Cover like Joey covers. Joey Burrow. He covers spreads. That's Monday Night Football though. Oh, but there are definitely like some spots to take advantage of here. I'll give a quick fire. Teams that may have got some success, don't necessarily have too much to play for here. Chargers are the spot. I mean, Chargers is not even a home game for them. They both play in the stadium against the Rams. Chargers are already in the playoffs. They probably won't win a division, right? With the Chiefs playing. Chiefs play early in the day compared to the Chargers. So I think the Rams plus the 6.5 might be a good spot for this LA battle. So I think the Chargers. This is a team that doesn't have much to play for. We know how they can be. Period. After winning games, 11-1 against the spread after a win since Justin Herbert has been drafted. So I think the Rams are a good spot here, catching 6.5. But that was just another spot I thought that somebody doesn't have too much to play for. But I think it is one more game. Bucks Panthers. We didn't go over it. Bucks laying 3 against the Panthers, total 40.5. I don't have too much.
I don't have anything for it either. The world seems to like the Panthers, but does the NFL go without letting Tom Brady in the playoffs? Who knows? I'm not touching this game.
Keith, you got anything for this one? Bucks Panthers?
Hell no. I got to lean on the Bucks. This is like what? Literally, I didn't want to go conspiracy. That was going to be my whole angle if we were really.
Yeah.
It was going to be my whole angle if we talked about this game, so we can skip it.
Also lean on the Bucks. Got a little more due diligence to do with this game, but Panthers beat the Bucks early in the season. I think this might be a good spot. But the Panthers last 10 games, all 10 have gone under the total before playing New Orleans Saints. Panthers play the Saints next week. So I want to throw that out there.
That might be something to look at there.
Yeah. So, that's Panthers last 10 games before playing the Saints. All 10 have gone under the total. Also, Saints catching 6.5 on the road against Philly. I don't think Philly has too much to play for this week. It's about the playoffs right now. But I lean Saints there. But I think that's about it. Y'all got any more? Y'all like anything else, lean?
Nothing for me. I'm ready to go. Week 17.
All right, I love it. Short pod. All right, let's get out of here. Tease me picks. I missed it last week, Keith. I wish I had you with me, man. I missed the tease me picks last week. Ron, what do you got?
Yeah, I mean, I say let's go ahead and tease those Texans up. I really like that there. And then also, we might as well just tease those Steelers up, just knowing how those games kind of go.
I think that's a really good teaser, Ron. I might play that in real life. Keith, what do you got? two teams, 6 points.
In real life.
So my teaser first leg was the Steelers as well, plus 8.5 or whatever it is, depending on the number. I honestly at first I had the Chargers down to money line, but you just talked me off of that. And I'm just throwing I'm about to throw the 49ers in there, minus 3.5. Just go ahead and beat them.
I'm not mad at that.
Beat them up.
Give me the Giants at a pick'em. And I'm also take the Texans plus 10. I think that's a pretty good spot. And yeah, let's get
Yeah,
out
wait,
of
wait,
here
before
with
we
best
end it,
bets.
Can I squeeze a chicken sandwich out of your guys' love for the Texans this week? Because I didn't want to go back, but this is like if I can get a chicken sandwich.
I'll take it there. I'll take it.
Yeah,
There.
I'll take it as well. I'll take it there. I'll take it as well. The +4 would definitely take it. So what's that? I guess one each. All right. Works for me. Best bets again. Let's review. I had the Steelers +2.5. And I really like Rome best bet.
Cardinals +3, week 17.
And Keith, you had 2?
The Jets and the Packers this week for me. Best bets.
All right, there it is. Week 17 in the books. How many weeks till the Super Bowl?
Let's go.
5
weeks.
1, 2, whatever. But Super Bowl pot, prop show, 4th annual. I'm working some things out, so I think we're going to do some pretty nice things for everybody out there. Super Bowl prop show about 6 weeks away, so let's get ready for that. But yeah, we'll be back next week. Final week of the regular season, week 18. What's the Line podcast? Rome, you want to get a Roll Tide in?
Roll Tide, Beacon State, Super Bowl.
How about this? Go Blue. I think Michigan going to cover this week. Woo.
Mm-hmm.
The recording has stopped.